In taking the motion, in taking the motion on the committal of bills, this House recall that the following bills were passed by the National Assembly and transmitted to the President. 1. Control of small arms and light weapons, Establishment Bill 2023, HB 1596. 2. National Drug Law Enforcement Agency Act, Amendment Bill 2023, HB 2195. 3. Charter Institute of Digital Forensic of Nigeria, Establishment Bill 2003, HB 1491. Notes that some fundamental issues which require fresh legislative action emerge after critical analysis of the bill in the presidency. Therefore, this House resolved, rescind its decision on the bill as passed and commit same to the Committee of the Whole for reconsideration. I so move, sir.
Honorable Jaha.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. Ahmed Jaha Babao is my name. I represent Chibok, Dambua, and Goza Federal Constituency. I rise to second a motion ably moved by Honorable Flatter for the recommittals of the bills. I so second. Thank you.
Those in support of the motion, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. We move on to consideration of reports. The 10th order of the day is consideration of a bill for an act to repeal the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission Act Cap R7 Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004 and enact the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission's Bill to grant the Commission enforcement powers in the monitoring of accruals to and disbursement of revenue from the Federation account, and to bring the Act in conformity with the provisions of the 1999 Constitution as amendment for related matters. Honourable members will recall that the bill was committed to the Committee of the Whole on Tuesday, 4th May. Leader will move for its consideration.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, my name is Mohamed Tahir Monguno. I represent Martin Monguno, Ganze Federal Constituency of Borno State. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, may I apply that bills number 10 to 16 be read seriatim in order to save the precious time of the House. I hereby move that a bill for an act to repeal the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission Act, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and enact the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission Bill to grant the Commission enforcement powers in the monitoring of accruals to and disbursements of revenue from the Federation account, and to bring the Act in conformity with the provisions of the 1999 Constitution as amended, and for related matters be considered in the Committee of the Whole. 2. A bill for an act to establish Real Estate Regulatory Council of Nigeria to provide efficient, effective, and transparent administration of the business of real estate development, and prescribe minimum standards for the Council of the Business of Real Estate Development in Nigeria, promote the real estate sector, and ensure the development, sale, and lease of plot, apartment, or building, landed property in a transparent manner to provide globally acceptable standard of service and transparent administration of the business of real estate development, and prescribe minimum standards for the conduct of the business of real estate development in the Federal Capital Territory, and for related matters also be considered in the Committee of the Whole. Then a bill for an act to repeal the Explosive Act of 1964 and enact the Explosive Bill to regulate the manufacture, storage, possession, use, distribution, purchase, sale, transportation, importation, and exportation of explosives, and for related matters be equally considered in the Committee of the Whole. Then a bill for an act to amend the National Assembly Library Trust Fund Establishment Act number 1 of 2022 to provide for additional source of fund for the management of the library to enhance the capacity of legislators and National Assembly staff, and for related matters be equally considered in the Committee of the Whole. Then a bill for an act to establish Chartered Institute of Mentoring and Coaching in Nigeria, to to be charged with the responsibility for registration, discipline of its membership, to regulate and control the practice of monitoring and coaching, and for related matters be equally considered in the committee of the whole. Then a bill to repeal the National Fertilizer Quality Control Act number 23, 2019, and enact the National Fertilizer and Agricultural Pesticides Control Bill to provide an improved regulatory framework for the manufacture, importation, sale, and distribution of fertilizer and agricultural pesticides in Nigeria, and related matters be considered in the committee of the whole. Then the last but not the least is a bill for an act to amend the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency Act, CAF-N 30, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to strengthen the operations of the agency, empower the agency to establish laboratories, update the list of dangerous drugs, review the recent penalty provisions, enhance the power of the agency to prosecute drug-related offenses, and issue subsidiary legislation, and for related matters be equally considered in the committee of the whole. I so move seriatim. A wannan ba nawa bane.
Honorable Lanre Edu, please second.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm Representative Edwin Lanrewaju. I represent all the people of Abeokuta South Federal Constituency. I hereby stand to second the motion ably moved by the House Leader, so second.
Those in support that all the bills be considered, please say aye. Those against say nay. Ayes have it. 17th order of the day is consideration of report of the Committee on Agricultural Production and Services on a bill for an act to amend the Nigerian Institute of Animal Science Act, CAP-N 160, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and for related matters. Honorable members will recall that the report laid on Thursday, 25th May 2023. Honorable Dan Dutse Muhammad will move for his consideration.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I remain Honorable Ibrahim Kunle Olarewaju. I represent the entire people of Mobaidos, Ilejimeji Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise this afternoon to move that the House do consider the report of the Committee on Agricultural Production Services on a bill for an act to amend the Nigerian Institute of Agricultural Science, CAP 160, Law of Federation of Nigeria 2004, and for related matter, HB 9.5, and approve the recommendation therein. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleague, I so moved.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I'm Dachu Musa Bagos, representing the great people of Jos South, Jos East Federal Constituency, from the peaceful, new, liberated green state of Plateau. I rise to second as rightly moved by my honorable colleagues.
All right, those in support, please say aye. Those against, say nay. Ayes have it. The 18th order of the day is considered of two reports of the Committee on Basic Education and Services. Honorable Julius Nyonvere will move for their consideration. Honorable Julius.
Okay, Mr. Speaker, I'm Professor Julius Ihonvere, representing all the people of Owan Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Edo State. I rise to move that the House do consider the report of the Committee on Basic Education and Services on the bill for an act to repeal the National Education Examinations Council, NECO, Act Cap 937, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and enact the National Examinations Council Bill to provide for making NECO National Senior Secondary Certificate Examination internal SSC1 compulsory for every Nigerian child and provide for the removal of the clause without, quote, without prejudice to the existing powers and function of the West Africa Examination Council, WAEC, unquote, from the Act, and to design the scope of the power and functions of the governing board of the Council and for related matters, HB 226, and approve recommendations therein. Mr. Speaker, I also rise to move that the House do consider the report of the Committee on Basic Education and Services on a bill for an act to amend National Business and Technical Examinations Board Act, Cap N12, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to improve the scope of the board to undertake contemporary business and technical examinations in line with the national policy on education, provide the general purpose of the results, certificates, and awards issued by the board and for related matters, HB 1492, and approve recommendations therein. I so move, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much.
Honorable Blessing, please approach the chair. Honorable Khadija, do you mind seconding?
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Khadija Waziri Bukar Ibrahim. I represent the good people of Damaturu, Tarmo, Gujibagulani Federal Constituency of Yobe State. I rise to second the motion ably moved by my honorable colleague. I so second. Thank you.
Those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Leader of the House, can you move that the House is up to the Committee of the Whole?
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, Comrade Peter Ohionzuje Patterson, MNI. I represent the great people of Akoko Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I move that this House dissolve the Committee of the Whole to consider a report. I so move.
Honorable Rahis, can you please second? The great Rahis, please second.
Honorable Rahis Abdulkadir, member representing Maiduguri Metropolitan Federal Constituency. I rise to second motion heavily moved by my honorable colleagues. I so second.
Thank you, Honorable Rahis. Those in support that will dissolve the Committee of the Whole, please say aye. Those against, say nay. Okay, let me try that again. Those in support that will dissolve it to Committee of Whole, please say aye. Those against, say nay. Ayes have it. House dissolves Committee of the Whole. Can you please, can we rescind that, because there's a matter that we need to take. We have to quickly go back to one matter before we go to Committee of the Whole. So, Leader, please rescind that decision that we go to Committee of the Whole. is an important matter.
Mr. Speaker, I wish to seek leave of the House to rescind the decision, earlier motion to resolve to the Committee of the Whole.
Ibrahim Olajide, I represent Lagos Mainland, Federal Constituency, Lagos State. I stand to second the motion as moved by the leader to rescind.
Those of us say aye. Aye. Those against the nay. Ayes have it. Honorable Aliu Mustafa, what number is your... Honorable Mustafa was not here when we took his... he just stepped up, but it's a very important matter, so we have to quickly go back to it. I believe it's number 3. The third business of the day is presentation of report of the ad hoc committee on the need to investigate the petroleum product subsidy regime in Nigeria from 2013 to 2022. Standing name of Honorable Ibrahim Mustafa Aliu. Honorable members will recall that the bill was referred to the committee on Wednesday, 29 June 2022. Report is now ready for presentation. Honorable Aliu.
Member representing Wunora Federal Constituency and the chairman of the committee on the need to investigate the petroleum product subsidy regime in Nigeria from I rose up to lay the report of the ad hoc committee, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues.
Honorable Nala Rabba, please second. Wait.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Abubakar Hassan Nila Rabba is my name. I represent the good people of Awedo Makana Federal Constituency. I'm from Nasarawa State, Mr. Speaker. I rise to second the motion ably moved by Honorable Mustafa to lay the report of ad hoc committee on investigation on petroleum subsidy. I so second.
Thank you, Honorable Nala. Those in support, please say aye. Those against the nay. Ayes have it. Honorable Aliu, please lay your report. So, leader, can you now move again that we will dissolve the committee of the whole?
Mr. Speaker, once again, I move that we resolve to the committee of the whole to consider reports. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
The minority leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I remain Honorable Ndodi Godwin Delmelu, and I represent the good people of Aniocho Shimili Federal Constituency. I'm from Delta State. I rise to second the motion moved by the House Leader. I so second.
Those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. House hereby dissolves the committee of the whole. Deputy Speaker, sir. Deputy Speaker.
kana da damuwa ne zan iya za mu yi mu zo mu yi ma hanya insha Allah to alhamdulillah.
Respected colleagues, the first bill to be considered for an act to repeal the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission Act, CAF, R7 Laws of Regulation of Nigeria 2004, and enact the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission Bill to grant the Commission enforcement powers in the monitoring of accruals to the, and to disbursement of revenue from the Federation account, and to bring the Act in conformity with the provision of 1999 Constitution as amended. And for that, I invite the leader to give the synopsis of the report. The bill. Just bind the code and I. What's it? That's the first one. We said in the game, one can I've seen the first one.
Mr. Chair, this bill is about the repeal of the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission Act, and for the reenactment of Revenue Mobilization, Allocation Commission grants the Commission to grant the Commission enforcement powers in the monitoring of accrual to and disbursement of revenue from the Federation account. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chair, it is obvious that we have very serious issues of revenue mobilization in the country, and that the existing act does not enable the authority, give them the enablement to properly enhance the process. So this act is seeking to give them that enablement to make it easier for revenue mobilization for national development. Thank you.
Respected colleagues, this bill, I believe, we had to step it down about twice. Today, we should do our best to pass it. Thank you. Clause 1, Clause 2, Clause 3, Clause 4, Clause 5, Clause 6, Clause 7, Clause 8, Clause 9, Clause 10, Clause 11, Clause 12, Clause 13, Clause 14, Clause 15, Clause 16, Clause 17, Clause 18, schedules, explanatory memoranda and long title. Respected colleagues, the second bill to be considered for an act to establish the real estate. That's the one says ready? We'll go to the next one while waiting for the report to be distributed to members. The third bill to be considered for an act to repeal the Explosive Act 1964 and enact the Explosive Act to regulate the manufacture, storage, possession, use, distribution, purchase, sale, transportation, importation, and exportation of explosives. And for related matters, now I invite the leader of the House to give the synopsis of the bill. Leader, you have the synopsis or we continue? The synopsis.
Which one? No, I'm talking about it now. Now your bill. Mr. Chair, the bill before us seeks to establish efficient and effective as well as transparent administration of business of real estate in the Federal Capital Territory. Mr. Chair and colleagues, you will agree with me that real estate is a big business in this town, and it's important that we set the rules very clearly for practitioners to be able to carry out their businesses fairly and efficiently. So I seek leave of my colleagues to consider the bill.
Honorable Leader, what we asked you to go for was the light arms, not the real estate, but you are reading the real estate. We step down real estate. Yes, sir. So take the real estate and then thank you. Because of the noise, I appreciate. Yes. Our respected colleagues on the aisles, please note that it is against our rule to stand on the aisles. Can you please kindly take your seat? Distinguished Senator, colleagues, please, on Manir, kindly take your seats. Respected colleagues, I once again go back to the second bill, and I will ask you to give the synopsis concurrently. This second bill to consider is that of the is for an act to establish the Real Estate Regulatory Council of Nigeria to provide efficient, effective, and transparent administration of the business of real estate development and prescribe minimum standards for the conduct of the business of real estate development in Nigeria, promote the real estate sector, and ensure the development, sales, and lease of plot, apartments, or building landed property in a transparent manner, to provide globally acceptable standard of service and transparent administration of the business of real estate development and prescribe minimum standards for the conduct of the business of real estate development in the Federal Capital Territory and for related matters. And I invite the leader to give the synopsis of the bill. Maybe you allow blessing, because that's our own committee.
Okay. Blessing.
Blessing. She has yielded to him. You yielded to him. You yielded the opportunity to him. Okay. He has been brief. Properly brief. Properly brief. Okay, go ahead.
Mr. Chair and my colleagues, I had earlier spoken to this bill. It's actually a Senate bill for concurrence in the House. It seeks to a regulatory council of Nigeria to provide efficient and effective, as well as transparent administration of business of real estate in the Federal Capital Territory. As I said earlier, real estate is big business in the Federal Capital Territory, and the best thing for us is to have a regulatory commission that will provide the right atmosphere for proper and efficient management of real estate in the Federal Capital Territory. So I seek the support of our dear colleagues to pass this bill, to consider it, please.
Thank you, sir. Colleagues, now for the clause by clause consideration. Clause 1, clause 2, clause 3, clause 4, clause 5, clause 6, clause 7, clause 7, clause 8, clause 9, clause 10, clause 11, clause 12, clause 13, clause 14, clause 15, clause 16, clause 17, clause 18, clause 19, clause 20, clause 21, clause 22, clause 23, clause 24, clause 25, clause 26, clause 27, clause 28, clause 29, clause 30, clause 31, clause 33, clause 34, schedules, explanatory memoranda, and long title. Respected colleagues, the third bill to be considered for an act to repeal the Explosive Act 1964 and enact the Explosive Act to regulate the manufacture, storage, possession, use, distribution, purchase, sale, transportation, importation, and exportation of the explosives and following matters. I now invite the Leader of the House to give the synopsis of the report.
Mr. Chair and my colleagues, the bill before us seeks to establish, to repeal the Explosives Act of 1964, to enact the Explosive Bill, to regulate manufacture, storage, possession, and other handling of explosives in Nigeria, in order to make it transparent and very efficient. It's as simple as that, so I seek your kind consideration. Thank you.
Respected colleagues, now for the clause by clause consideration. Clause 1, clause 2, clause 3, clause 4, clause 5, clause 6, clause 7, clause 8, clause 9, clause 10, clause 11, clause 12, clause 13, clause 14, clause 15, clause 16, clause 17, clause 18, clause 19, clause 20, clause 21, clause 22, clause 23, clause 24, clause 24. Short title, 25. There is no explanatory memoranda. No. Long title. Respected colleagues, the fourth bill to be considered for an act to amend the National Assembly Library Trust Fund Establishment Act number 11 of 2022 to provide for the additional source of refunds for the management of the library to enhance the capacity of legislators and the National Assembly staff and following matters. And I invite the Leader of the House to give the synopsis. Instead of the Leader, I suppose, Honorable Henry, we did ask you to carry out an assignment for us. I believe you have done that. That's why we resume consideration. Thank you. Now for the clause by clause consideration. Clause 1, clause 2, clause 3, clause 4, clause 5, clause 6. Clause 7, the schedules. No, it's 7 that I have here. After 7 is schedules. Schedules, explanatory memoranda, then you have citation. Long title. I think the citation should have come before. Thank you. The special colleagues, the fifth bill to consider it for an act to establish the Chartered Institute of Mentoring and Coaching of Nigeria to be charged with the responsibility of registration, discipline of its members, at least Nigerians, not Nigeria. Discipline of its members to regulate the control of practice of monitoring and coaching and following matters. And I invite the leader of that to give the same synopsis of the report. I don't know what is
Mr. Chair and my colleagues, item 14 in the order of the day is a bill that seeks to establish Chartered Institute of Mentoring and Coaching in Nigeria to be charged with the responsibility of the registration and disciplining of their own members, as well as to regulate and control the practices of monitoring and coaching and for matters related to it. This is an independent organization that does not actually require government funding, so I urge that we give it appropriate consideration.
Coaching in Nigeria, competence in monitoring and coaching in Nigeria.
You want to take them out of the Nigerian Football Federation? I thought coaching is part of the responsibility of the National Sports Commission. Yes? He has given the synopsis. That he has synopsis and are not very clear. We didn't hear you well. We didn't hear you well.
Mr. Chair, for the benefit of those who did not hear me well, the bill before us seeks to establish Chartered Institute of Monitoring and Coaching in Nigeria, mentoring and coaching in Nigeria, to be charged with the responsibility for registration, discipline of its members, to regulate and control the practice of monitoring and coaching, monitoring and coaching, and for related matters.
For the close, it's not debate. Remember, this is not debate moment. Yes, sir.
I'm not here. What do you mean? Which leader? What do I get as a leader?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Toby Okechukwu, and I represent an area of Oje River Federal Constituency from Enugu State. Mr. Chairman, I was expecting the leader, because when you are to give synopsis, it is not just reading the title. And I was expecting for him to give us a synopsis, a synopsis of what the bill, what is supposed to cure. What's the objective? What he should address us on the economics of it. If we establish an institute for mentoring and coaching, everything is shattering. So what we should be expecting is, let us know what this is bringing to the table at this point in time. Not just, if it's not properly seized of the facts, the sponsor of the bill should be able to address us. So we just don't dump agencies, and this is an agency that will create DG, Deputy DG, Director, Finance Department, and all that. And you are talking about mentoring. So, I mean, there are places like Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, and there is enough agencies to go around. Please let us be briefed properly.
I quite agree with the last speaker, Mr. Chairman. Now, what does this bill tend to cure? You know, when you talk about mentoring, you are talking of mentoring in area you are an expert. You want to mentor the ones that are coming in, you know, and guide them properly. Of what field does this bill tend to cover? And what does it intend to cure? I think that's what the last speaker has just, asserted. And I believe, Mr. Chairman, that the bill did not give a clear directions of what he intends to cure. Because, for instance now, a non-national assembly members who probably have not spent any year in the National Assembly and say you want to mentor National Assembly members who are new, has no cognate experience to even come and mentor. So what field does this bill tend to cover? That has not been explained. I think the abstract nature of that bill, or the synopsis as enumerated by the Deputy Minority Leader, should be unveiled clearly. And this bill is not trying to unveil it at all, except the Leader of the House will unveil it clearly for us. And if he's not ready probably with the facts today, we should adjourn this bill till next week.
Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chair and my dear colleagues, I want to totally agree with the last two speakers that what we have here is not sufficient for anybody to understand exactly what this bill seeks to achieve. Truth of the matter is that, yes, the practice of presenting the synopsis of a bill is to enable people get a clear understanding of what it stands for. But if you don't have the information, I wonder what synopsis that you have to give. That is the issue here. When I came in 2011, there was a practice of sending advanced copies of these bills to individual members. Just step it down. For members to have foreknowledge of whatever that is going to happen on the floor of the House. So I agree with them that we don't have sufficient information here. However, this bill is not a House bill. Whoever owns the bill should speak to it at this point. Who has the information should speak to it. I think that is the right thing to do, so that the people will be properly informed about what it is all about.
Well, I believe The leader, he coordinates the committees by our rules, and should be seized of the fact of which committee of the House addressed this, that worked on the bill. Bills come here is not a dumping ground from whichever axis, but it should be a place where a committee prudently and conscientiously looked at the bill. So if we are to adopt this agency now, if we are to pass it, we should be seized of the fact of which committee of the House should superintend over it. So there are certain things that must come to some enlightened understanding for it to pass the test of time. It's the quality of the bills that we pass and not the number. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I think this is very clear to us all that we do not have the real insight of what is contained in this bill and the purpose of what is supposed to achieve as far as the Nigerian content is concerned in terms of the benefit. I will urge the Chairman, Rules and Business, because this is a House bill, it's not for the Senate, kindly look for the person that sponsored this bill so that he can come on the scheduled date, brief us properly, and then maybe give us the understanding of what he intends to achieve, and then the House will do justice to the bill. Thank you very much. So, bill step down for further legislative action by the leave of the House. The Special Quality, the seventh bill to be considered is for an act to amend the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency Act, Cap N30 Laws Version Nigeria 2004, to strengthen the operation of the agency, empower the agency to establish laboratories, update the list of dangerous drugs, and review the penalty provision, enhance the powers of the agency to prosecute drug-related offenses, and issue subsidiary legislation and related matters. Sorry, colleagues, I jump number 6. The sixth bill to be considered for an act to repeal the National Fertilizer Quality Control Act number 23, 2019, and enact the National Fertilizer and Agricultural Practice Pesticide Control Bill to provide an improved regulatory framework for the manufacture, importation, sale, and distribution of fertilizer and agricultural pesticides in Nigeria and for related matters. And I invite the leader of the House to give the synopsis. Chairman Agric is available. He should be the one to do that. You want to take charge, former chairman? You sponsored it, thank you. But the committee work on it? Are you willing? Thank you. You have the floor.
Mr. Chairman, honorable members, thank you, Chairman, and thank you, Leader, for yielding the floor to me. Mr. Chairman, initially, we have a bill for the production and distribution of pesticides, and you cannot divorce the use of pesticides and the use of fertilizer in the agricultural
medical center. Nasa Mohanga, I'm by the management of medical center. The federal orthopedic. I've achieved a lot. Alhamdulillah. Thank you very much. You still want to add, Chairman? I thought you ceded the position to, for the contribution to him. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Your Excellency. My name is Munir Babadan Agundi, representing Kumbota Federal Constituency of Kano State. Your Excellency, what the Chief Whip has said and what we are amending now is very paramount to the agricultural sector in Nigeria, especially the aspect of the pesticides. A lot of companies are springing up in the country, not minding the quality and on the control of pesticides. So on this note, I want to believe the amendment is very important to us. And in some climes, some of the pesticides we are using in this country, what we are using in Nigeria are not being used in other countries. So this amendment will definitely take care of such corrections in the pesticides industry. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Clause 1, clause 2, clause 3, clause 4, clause 5, clause 6, clause 7, clause 8, clause 9, clause 10, clause 11, clause 12, clause 13, clause 14, clause 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, clause 20, clause 21, clause 22, clause 23, clause 24, clause 25, clause 26, clause 27, clause 28, clause 29, clause 30, clause 31, clause 32, clause 33, clause 34, clause 35, clause 36, clause 37, clause 38, clause 39, clause 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, clause 49, clause 50. Schedules. Explanatory memoranda and long title of the bill. So it has been corrected. Yes. Colleagues, remember we passed the next bill, which has to do with the NDLA law, and then the President's raised some observations which have not been taken care of. It's for now for us to reconsider and pass for their own necessary action. Clause 1, clause 2, which is in section 9, looks the NDLA. It just observation raised and then the correction from the presidents that are be taken care of in this bill. We had passed the bill earlier on. It was taken for assent that they return with certain observations, and the observations have not been taken care of. Yes, sir.
There is also the possibility of unknowingly. And the term of the sentence is 15 years to 25 years. And that is possession of a listed chemical. And in this law, we are giving them, they have an inherent jurisdiction for a subsidiary legislation by listing chemicals which they determine in their laboratories. And when a Nigerian knowingly or unknowingly becomes a victim of this, and then it goes for incarceration for 15 to 25 years. If we can know what was the provision before, what was the term of years there, so that we can understand the justification. Because I think that possession, which could come in any way, is fairly draconian regarding the minimum, which is 15. So I will think that if we know what was the initial minimum, then it will be better. Otherwise, we can have the minimum at 25 and then bring down the minimum to 10. Maximum 25, minimum to 10, so that we don't unduly incarcerate people who may have inadvertently run foul of the law.
Sir, colleagues, I think we must work deliberately to help the country. And that is my own position. No person will go into manufacture of chemicals if he has that capacity and the intellectual capacity that he will not know the list of those dangerous chemicals. Because it's been handled by professionals. You either find a pharmacist or chemist that are in that sector. And they are causing harm to Nigerians. I think I will plead with our colleagues. The life being destroyed in comparison to the punishment they are not close to. You now imagine your brother turned into a mad person on the street. From productivity to uselessness and hopelessness. I think we should support the government to do the right thing.
Understand what I'm saying? I'm saying that it's better to err on the side of caution. That you have a minimum of 10 years to 25 years. It comes within the jurisdiction of the presiding officer in court to know. Saying that you should bring 15 years down to 10 years, not being against the country.
The issue on manufacture is that you do not go to manufacture without obtaining license.
Possession,
yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I say all this. If you go to the drugstore, there are those on the shelf they are supposed to have. There are those who are not supposed to have. They all have those lists. It's just been strengthened, but because the laws are being abused, that's why legislation have to come in to intervene to solve the problem. Well, it is for you to go into the library. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Clause 16.
Thank you.
19, 24, the citation and the explanatory memoranda and long title. Thank you. Respected colleagues, the 7th bill to be considered is for an act to amend. So that's the one with you. The chairman of drugs, he will support the bill. You are supposed to be here, and you allow us now from this side to depend on your own work. The first report to be considered is for that of Committee on Agricultural Production and Services on a bill for an act to amend the Nigerian Institute of Animal Science Act, Cap N160, Laws of Nigeria 2004, and for later matters. And I invite Honorable Butari Danduse Mohammed to give the synopsis of the report. Yes, sir, Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I remain Honorable Ibrahim Kunle Olarewaju. I represent the entire board of Mobile Idosi, the Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, this amendment was brought to alter some words and paragraphs. However, in the committee, the entire amendment was rejected not only by the committee, by the ministry, by the institute, and by all the parties involved. Consequently, therefore, Mr. Chairman, the committee acceded to the request to reject all the amendment, and it was so rejected. I therefore pray that this amendment be rejected. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Where's the bill? Thank you, sir. Clause 1. Clause 1.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir. On clause 1?
No, even in all the clauses, if you go through it, sir, you will discover that everything is rejected. So
Everything?
Rejected. So what are we considering?
No, you are considering what they rejected.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You have to approve their rejection.
From all this?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I say you have to approve what they have rejected. Otherwise, it's not rejected. I don't know. I'm just going through the clause by clause. That means the bill did not pass at the committee. But then it's the responsibility of the committee of the whole to accept or not to accept what they have done.
So we can reverse the rejection.
You have the right to, you can do that. It's their own opportunity.
Is it an executive bill?
Is
so
it
that we can support the government?
I don't know. I don't know. It's a House bill. I think members' bill. If I'm a chairman,
stakeholder said it's unnecessary, it's bringing confusion, and so we had no option than to. We were initially thinking it emanated from the ministry, but we later realized that even the ministry don't want it. They said it's bringing unnecessary confusion. The institute said it's bringing unnecessary confusion. All the stakeholders we brought are saying it's unnecessary. So we have no option than to accede to their line of argument too, because we reason with them too.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, what the last speaker should respond to is what were they rejecting? What was the intendment of the bill? What did it intend to? We are not making laws for the institute, or we are making laws for the Nigerian people. Was there a justification in the rejection? And what was it meant to achieve in the first place? What were the provisions that they sought to amend? So that whether it will serve the common good, that's our interest, not the interest of the institute. There are laws that we never want you to amend. So you should give us proper information. I know an honorable member here will not come and present a bill that will not serve the common good. So you should be able to brief us on what the intendment of the bill
Thank you, sir.
is.
I think from the synopsis given by our brother, which aptly captured, the essence of public hearing is also to get the views of stakeholders. And he said all the stakeholders rejected. It means then it will not add value to the present law that we have. And that's why they rejected. And we are here on behalf of the stakeholders and other Nigerians. And that's why I thought the committee have done extremely well and we should go ahead and approve. Or if you find it necessary, reject as we go for the clause by clause. Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, sir. Mr. Chairman, thank you. My name is Jim Abdurrahim Olajide. I represent the Gospel Land Federal Constituency, Lagos State. I just want to buttress what the chairman has just said. You know, I did mention that since the recommendation is rejected all along, what are we considering? And you actually said the recommendations as provided with this bill they have given to us to be considered clause by clause. I think it's better we move on and approve the rejection. Thank you.
Thank you. Clause 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Thank you. Explanatory memoranda. The second report to be considered for examination, internal SSCE1, composite for every Nigerian child, and provide for the removal of clause without prejudice to the existing powers and functions of the West African Examination Council from the Act and design the scope of the power of the function of the governing board of the council and related for related matters. And I invite Honorable Jindos to give the synopsis of the report.
Mr. Speaker, I remain Professor Julius Ihonvere, representing the people of Owan Federal Constituency, Edo State. The essence of this is to strengthen the work of NECO. It has existed for about 10 years. It is our only national examination body that conducts exams for basic education, JSS and SSCE. And the essence is to ensure that there are many people who stop at JSS 3, and they should have a certificate to leave if they decide to go to other trades or go to technical schools. At the moment, some of them leave without any qualifications whatsoever. Second is to ensure that the little clause about West Africa examination is no longer necessary. They are no longer babies. They don't take money from federal government. They generate their own funds and they pay monies to the federal government, and they can start on their own. To write our own national examination body into the bill of West Africa, it does not contradict the convention we signed in any way. They are both competing examination bodies, and they are standing on their own and are able to stand on their own. Finally, we are not making the SS3 exams compulsory. Children and families should have a choice whether they want to do WAEC or NECO. Regularly, they try to write both, but it should not be compulsory, so they do both. That's essentially what it is, to strengthen WAEC in service delivery in the interest of Nigeria. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Chairman.
Honorable Prof, he's asking us what is the fate of WAEC. Fate of WAEC.
The relationship is usually good. The relationship between NECO and WAEC is good. They're both supervised by the Federal Ministry of Education. The only area where they seem to always have problem is who conducts its examination first, because they think that will attract more customers, quote unquote, more students. But otherwise, they cooperate and collaborate on several issues. WAEC, of course, thinks that removing that clause will make them less capable. We have consulted with many lawyers and many colleagues, and the committees on the view. It has absolutely no effect at all. WAEC is a bigger body that conducts exams in the entire West Africa. And this, in any way, does not affect their work.
Now the clause by clause consideration. Clause 1, clause 2, clause 3, clause 4, clause 5, clause 6, clause 7, clause 6, clause 7, clause 8. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues. I have observation on the clause 8, number C. You see, the report, my name is Honorable Babangida Ibrahim, representing Malumfashi, Kafur, for your constituency and for Katana State. Mr. Chairman, if you look at that amendment, the report tried to remove the word mandatory. And we are all aware that in Nigeria currently we are operating 6334 system of education. So I see no reason why the word mandatory should be removed in the report. It should be made compulsory for anybody in his final year of primary school education must write a common entrance examination. It should be made mandatory. if you look at the report, they have removed the word mandatory. That's the key amendment on that report. So why are they removing the word mandatory?
Who seek admission in federal institutions. It does not affect those who are going for private institutions.
Said and allied institutions. Look at the last paragraph.
No, it's federal. That law cannot stand for the. It cannot. I suppose so. Am I right, Prof? Thank you. Federal institutions.
For example, you are attending a primary school in a state-owned primary schools, and you want to go to secondary school in the state-owned government schools. Are you not? I say it's not mandatory for somebody to write common entrance examination.
No, I think not mandatory.
Does this law apply to only federal government colleges?
Yes, because one, at this level, we are doing the legislation that affects the national level. For the state, they have the right to regulate because it's in the concurrent list. They can also make their own laws. But at the national level, if you want to have admission, you have to pass those through. This is my understanding of this particular law.
The conduct examination throughout the federation.
No, it may be, it's the same system, but the programs vary from one state to another and depends on the recognition of the task of the intellect. There are some that may not have to go to primary 6 before they get to university.
Mr. Chairman, you see, this 6334 system of education, is it restricted only at the federal level? Or is as general application including the other
it has general application. But in terms of regulating, we have our limitations as to what we could do as it affects states and other private institutions.
Mr. Chairman, Prof, may you address us on what the removal of that word mandatory, what is going to help us do?
Thank you for the question. Now, the first thing is a question of identifying and protecting the identity of NECO.
Prof, speak to your mic.
They are both independent, if you like, competing examination bodies. And the counsel we have received and the view of the committee is that it is not proper to write into the bill of NECO, WAEC, when NECO is not in WAEC's convention. So as independent bodies, one is national, the other is, if you like, international. There are universities abroad that don't accept NECO. They take only WAEC. And we do not contest that the authority. And it does not stop WAEC from doing its exams, conducting its activities at all. But NECO believes that after 10 years of independent existence, in which they have done very well to the point where they do not seek money from Nigerian government, but actually pay money into the Nigerian government from the activities, that having, without prejudice to the function of WAEC, doesn't make any meaning at this point in time. And that clause alone makes them function better independently. They don't have to consult WAEC to do what they are doing. And they're both still supervised by the Federal Ministry of Education, which of course decides who writes exams first, who writes second. And WAEC has always written first.
Are you satisfied with the explanation? So I wasn't knowledgeable enough. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Before you rule on 8,
okay,
I want to, Mr. Prof, I want him to make clarification between C and G of clause 8. With your permission, let me read G. The general control, conduct and award of basic education certificate examination, which shall be compulsory for all Nigerian students in the final year. So why are they putting compulsory in G and removing compulsory in C?
Prof, you have the floor.
The first one talks about primary education. That is not conducted by WAEC, it's conducted by NECO. And one of the problems is that when they finish primary education, they need those certificates to go into the university or technical schools, which we are encouraging in the TVET program, Technical Vocational Education. And the second one talks about the first 3 years. That is under NECO. And what they are saying there is to make it compulsory for them. Now, let's note, in that exam, the over 90% of the states pay the exam for their pupils anyway. They pay. But to say it is compulsory, make sure they show up to write it. So if they don't continue to SS3, they have a document to hold. The final exam, we are not saying that is compulsory. It is a choice for parents to decide to do NECO or WAEC. And like I said before, 70% of them write both exams because they are not sure which one they will pass. You know. Exactly. They can combine to go to get admission.
Mr. Chairman, I want to move that we should not relegate primary system of education in Nigeria because the same law that applies to the junior secondary school examination should apply to primary school education because it's a system, it's a process. You start from the primary school, you move to the JSS, senior secondary school, and you finally conclude at the university level. So why are we making it compulsory at the JSS level, and we are not making it compulsory at the primary school level? Why? And here it is specific. They say public and private schools.
Sir, I think it is these are two different areas. Primary school do not have a fixated control as to what class you are if you want to move to the next level. Whereas in the secondary school, you have to have the minimum of either SEC or WAEC before you can move to the next level. That's why it cannot be compulsory at the primary, and it has to be compulsory at the secondary school level. This is my understanding.
Mr. Chairman, in the same secondary schools, there are schools in Nigeria that don't operate 6-year system of education. They operate 5 years. And this law will still apply to them. In fact, at a point, they don't even write WAEC and GCE. But later...
Honorable, I'm sorry to cut you short, but you know one of my child is a classmate to my own child. And I know they didn't complete primary 6 before they could get to secondary school.
Completion writing exams is optional. You can write exams at primary 4, at primary 5,
that's what the law is saying. That's why
but you still write the exams. You still write the exam. You don't get exemption for not writing the exams, which means by implication here, at a particular point in science, somebody will complete his primary school without having primary certificate. That is the implication.
Yes, sir. If you do not complete primary 6, you will not have certificate for that school.
Mr. Chairman, a lot of people write their WAEC at primary at SS2.
Yes, sir.
And they exit to university.
Yes, sir.
So they are making it compulsory here. I also have the option of writing my common entrance examination at primary 5 or primary 6, but the fact remains I must write the examination.
You will write the examination for the entry. It's not compulsory to have that certificate in parts of primary school certificate. And if you are going to conduct forensic auditing here, you will have more than 60% don't have primary school certificate.
So the implication
is not compulsory at that level.
The implication of this is that in the future, nobody will request for any primary school leaving certificates.
It depends on, sir.
That's the implication. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, I think we should allow some discretion at a very rudimentary level, because essentially Nigerians, one way or the other, are Russians. They rush everything. Every child, they want him to enter secondary school from primary 4 and all that. But if the child is brilliant enough, all well and good. In other jurisdictions, I've seen situations where you cannot cross where your age mates are. No matter how intelligent, no matter how old, no matter how tall you are. But I do not think that the present practice where Nigerians move you know, because students are brilliant. It doesn't have, it's not doing any injury. And it's not a condition precedent for entering into secondary school. What they usually do is that you must take an exam at the secondary school level, a common entrance exam, for you to enter to see your qualification. Then the other one requires some more levels of education to assess your capability in science, arts, or other subjects. That way, I think at that level, it requires some compulsion for you to be subject to that scrutiny. It's not a general common entrance exam. So I do not think that the provision does any injury as it is present. Thank you.
Thank you. Close it. Observation again. One minute. That's not a procedure for a committee of the whole. Close 9. No, I've hit the girl for 8. Close 10. Close 10. Close 11. Close 12. Close 13. Close 14. Close 15. Close 16. Close 17. Close 18. Close 19. 20. 21. 22. 23. 24. 25. 26. 27. Close 28. Close 29. Close 30. Close 31. We have close 30 twice. Look at it now, under citation, 30 again. 31. Citation correct to 31. Schedules. Explanatory memoranda. Yes, sir. Do you still have a SADA? No. If it's relevant. Thank you. Explanatory memoranda. That's all. Huh? The third report to be considered is that of Committee on Education and Service, Basic Education and Services on a bill for an act to amend the National Business and Technical Exemption Board Act, CAP N12 Laws of Federation Nigeria 2004 to improve the scope of the board to undertake contemporary business and technical examination in line with the national policy on education, provide the general purpose of the results, certificates and awards issued by the board and following matters. And I invite on Professor Julius to give the synopsis of the report.
Mr. Chairman, thank you once again. I'm Professor Julius Ihonvere, representing the good people of Owa Federal Constituency from Edo State. Mr. Chairman, this is a relatively easier amendment. On pages 1, 2, you will find a list of examinations that NAPTEP is already conducting and issuing certificates, but they are not listed in the original bill. So this amendment is essentially to include those exams that they are already administering in the bill. The second is that there are some exams conducted by the Royal Society of Arts, London, City and Guilds, which are being offered also by the NAPTEP, which is the nationally recognized body. Those exams will continue, but to enable NAPTEP to also administer those exams. And finally, they are already extending courses on general education. That it is not enough to learn carpentry. You must know how to do in a descriptive form what you are measuring. And that is why they need to include general education subjects. Essentially, Mr. Chairman, some students that go through the technical schools, at the end of the technical education certificates, they want to go to the university. They are usually rejected. As we speak today, many of them are returned even after scoring very high in JAMB. The reason is that they did all the technical subjects, but no general education subjects. So NAFDAC is saying they have the capacity, they have the faculty to undertake general education subjects in addition to those technical courses. So that if they want to go in for HND, ND, and BSc in technical education related subjects, there will be no problem. So it is just to legalize what they are already doing. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Sada, approach the chair.
Mr. Chairman, it's, because this thing has to be about education of our young children, so I think we need to look, we need to go back. I appeal to the House to go back on 8C. Okay, Mr. Chairman. Okay.
If they are genuine. Colleagues, clause 1, clause 1, clause 2, clause 3, clause 4, clause 5, explanatory memoranda, and long title of the bill. Thank you. Yes, sir. What's the observation on SC? Sada.
Mr. Chairman, I just need more explanation from the chairman, the rationale behind the removal of the mandatory function of the common interest, going by the recommendation of the committee on 8C. 8C, they remove the mandatory aspect of the examination. And then going to G again, they are making it compulsory as well. While behind here, they are saying it's not mandatory. I think they need to explain to us why that. Why removing the mandatory for common entrance examination and then making it compulsory for JSS?
And then, as I read that, Mr. Chairman, it will be dangerous to assume to adopt a laissez-faire attitude towards education, adopting a laissez-faire attitude towards examination, which means at any point, anybody can come in, you can just, without any test, without any examination, can just pick someone and say he should go to secondary school. And this is very dangerous. It's going to lower standards and a lot of implications, sir.
I think the input here is, the actual position of the actual act is much more better than what the committee is recommending. The actual act reads, the general control and conduct of the National Common Interest Examination, which shall be mandatory for all Nigerian pupils in the final year of their primary education who seek admission into the federal government colleges and other allied institutions, and every Nigerian child resident outside Nigeria who desires to register and sit for the said examination.
Very clear.
That is the existing law. What the committee is recommending reads, the general control and the conduct of the National Common Interest Examination for Nigerian pupils in the final year of their primary education who seek admission into the federal government and their allied institutions. Mr. Chairman, it's so vague. It doesn't make any. The directives is quite fluid. Is subject to anybody's interpretation. The words. You see, the semantic does not carry any enforcement. The semantics of this amendment does not carry any enforcement because it's so difficult even for you to understand what is it talking about. if you read if you juxtapose the two amendments, it's difficult for you to understand what the committee is recommending.
Prof.
Mr. Chairman, all states have their own examination boards, or they call it center or whatever, for primary 6 exams. They have. And the federal government cannot go into the states to be organizing primary 6 exams. But for those who, amongst all of them, irrespective of which school, that want to go to the federal government colleges, we conduct exams for them. That is what this is saying, nothing more than that. All states have their bodies that conduct their own exams. And the only ones we control are those unity colleges. The federal government does not control any other primary school, apart from the Suleja Academy.
Mr. Chairman, the issue here, we're talking about the functions of the council. We must be expressly definitive in what we are trying to determine what the council shall do. Here it's saying the general control and conduct of the common interest, which shall be mandatory. And then the committee is saying the general control and conduct of national common interest for Nigerian peoples. I mean, they just picked this thing and then left the actual, the context of what this section should enforce is out in their recommendation. We're not saying they are doing something wrong, but it's difficult for enforcement. It's difficult to define the functions. When you read this, anybody can juxtapose these two things. You'll find that it's even difficult for you to understand what the committee is saying.
Chairman, another explanation, please. I want to draw the attention of this House. If you look at the existing clause, this amendment doesn't cover every Nigerian child resident outside Nigeria. The committee recommendation does not take into account every Nigerian child resident outside Nigeria who desire to register and seek for the said examination. The amendment doesn't cover that one.
That one is missing, and it's very best. 8 what? 8.
That's the senior secondary school, sir. The H is talking about the senior secondary school.
Sorry, sir. Prof, what is the real the reason for the amendment? And does it have any implication for what we had before and what we are trying to do now?
The only implication is to eliminate conflicts between NECO and the state governments. But if we feel that, hey, we leave it there, I don't have... Yeah, NECO is the one that is the examination body that conducts it. But it can only conduct for federal government schools. Yes, this is primary school. This is state governments that...
Well, yes,
Thank
my
you
brother.
very much, Mr.
But
Chairman.
the state governments cannot conduct for the unity colleges. So it is only NECO that can conduct for the unity colleges.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. With due respect to Prof, this recommendation is looking much more confusing with what they have brought down here. I would rather suggest that the one that is there should be retained and reject the one that has been recommended to be on the safe side. That is the only way out. Otherwise, it will amount to more confusion, and we must be very careful.
No, we have to rescind the decision first before...
Mr. Chairman, if what we should be looking at is the intendment of the amendment, what do we really want? From all indications, from what Prof's explanation, he is trying to avert a conflict situation between state ministries of education and NECO. Because what is there is fiscal, is monetary. So, and we know the nature of our federation. The character of it is that it is being superintended by states in some areas and federal in some areas. Like you said, there is concurrent responsibility as per the Constitution. So if states conduct common entrance examinations for their pupils, we must be of the, we must come to reason with them that the remuneration associated with it goes there.
Well,
let me drop my point, sir. If the unity colleges are to be conducted by the federal, all well and good. If they are not conducting states, why should they have remuneration that is coming to the states? Unless I do not understand the intendment. But if it is that, I think it should fall through. Then we can deal with the elegance of the drafting. Thank you.
I think my understanding of our system of education is that we have universal basic education. And that universal basic education is on the concurrent list between the level of JSS 1 up to SSS 3. That one, there's accountable funding coming from the federal government and the state too. So in time to regulate, if it is within that purview, I don't think we are out of order to regulate any activity within that rhythm. And I think including primary school too, the federal government intervened on primary school. Now, what is the conflict? Parents are the ones that pay for entrance examination. And if we are trying to give real standard, do not forget that even those who go outside to read now, when they come back, we just treated a matter that lasted for more than 2 years on the floor of this house. Those who had the opportunity to go to read medicine outside the country came back to the country, and the country said, no, we cannot recognize them because they are fall short of our standards. And we had to battle and battle before we could get them registered. I'm not of the opinion that we should create conflict. If the provision we have, assuming there are cases and issues that have been raised, which the committee should know better and brief us, so that we now see the reason why we should now go to that line. If there has not been any established cases, why do we want to be frustrated in thinking that there will be a problem? And then in the process, we now jump into another problem. Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman, this examination is to pave way for the entrance into federal government colleges. So federal government has the right to determine how a child will be admitted into those federal institutions. After they have those kids, they have two sets of examinations. They have the general common interest that they can go to secondary school, and then they also, some of them also get another opportunity for this mandatory examination to get into admission into federal government colleges.
Sada, do not forget where you came from. All of us sat for National Common Entrance Examination before going to secondary school. It is a cut-off point that determines whether you are going to federal institution or state level. That has been the practice. That has been the practice. That's why I'm asking, from the former situation, what is the reason for what we are doing? We pass almost all of us pass through that stage. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Chairman, sir, even with this recommendation, sir, a substantial part of the former one has been completely omitted, particularly on the last lap, where we have every Nigerian child resident outside Nigeria who desire to register and sit for the said examination. That has been completely omitted from what they are recommending. So it doesn't work well.
Well, excuse me. I want us to carry and tally, and let's have the committee because we are all human beings. Colleagues, Professor and Dr. Salami. Prof, as humans, I don't know whether the prism at which they are looking at this law, you also view it in the same manner. And will it cause us harm if we retain the former provision?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I would prefer that we delineate responsibilities very clearly. I have been an SSG in the States, and the Commissioner for Education was supervised by me, as were other commissioners. And I know we do conduct our own exams independently. The federal government only has maybe 1 or 2 in each state. All the other schools are either private or owned by the state government, to which their children enter. But if some members are strongly of the view that we retain the old one, it does mean no personal injury, and I believe it may not do any collective injury.
Sir, Prof.
So maybe we can retain the old one. The new committee on basic education may look at it again and maybe come here with a better explanation.
Thank you. I think I would rather go with that. I would rather go with that, because we must have minimum standard of education at all levels.
That is it. Minimum.
We must. If we don't have that one, we are going to create confusion much later. Thank you. So, move for the decision of our decision for us to take the former decision, so that we'll allow for more work.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I am Abubakar Hassan Fulata. I'm representing Premier Agrika Son of the Federal Consortium. Mr. Chairman, I'm from Jigawa State. Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues, I move that the committee's recommendation in I move that we seen our decision in respect of committee's recommendation in 8C. I so move, Mr. Chairman.
Seconder. Yes, Kabir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
So, Honorable
Deputy Chairman, I say Kabir. Have you changed your name to Kabir?
Thank you, Mr. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Kabir Idris, and I represent the very good people of Kurama, Dobiga, Rumal, and Pera constituency. Mr. Chairman, I'm from Kano State, and I rise to second this very important motion, heavily moved by our Chairman Rules on Business. I so support, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. So, 8 as amended. 8 as amended. Yes. Thank you. Move the motion. 8 as amended. That's all.
Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues, I want to move that clause 8 subsection C, clause 8 subsection C be amended, that we return the existing clause. I so move.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Chairman, I second, sir.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. That's it. So 8 as amended. Thank you. Move for the House to revert to plan to report progress.
Mr. Chair and my dear colleagues, Comrade Peter Ohiozuje Akpata, MNI, I move that we revert to plenary to present report. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Deputy.
Honorable Chairman, honorable members, my name is Mohamed Tahir Monguno. I represent Marche Monguno, the Federal Constituency of Borno State. I second the motion that the House do revert to plenary to report progress. So
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. That's have it. House is about to revert to plenary to report progress. Respected colleagues, the House and the Committee of the Whole consider the report on the bill for an act to repeal the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission Act (CAP) R7 Laws of Federation Nigeria 2004 and enact the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission Bill to grant the Commission enforcement powers in the monitoring of accruals to and disbursement of revenue from the Federation account and to bring the Act in conformity with the provision of 1999 Constitution as amended and for matters approved clauses 1 to 17, schedules the explanatory memoranda and the long title of the bill. The House and the Committee of the Whole consider the report on a bill for an act to establish the Real Estate Regulatory Council of Nigeria and to provide efficient, effective, and transparent administration of the business of real estate development and practice and prescribe minimum standards for the conduct of the business of real estate development in Nigeria, promote the real estate sector and ensure the development, sales, and lease of plot, apartments, or building, landed property in a transparent manner to provide globally acceptable standards of service and transparent administration of the business of real estate development and prescribe minimum standards for the conduct of the business of real estate development in the Federal Capital Territory and for matters approved clauses 1 to 34, the schedules, the explanatory memoranda, and the long title of the report. Respected colleagues, the House and the Committee of the Whole considered the report of the bill on a bill for an act to repeal the Explosive Act 1964 and enact the Explosive Act to regulate the manufacture, storage, possession, use, distribution, purchase, sale, transportation, importation, and exportation of the explosives and for matters and approved clauses 1 to 25, the long title of the bill. Respected colleagues, the House and the Committee of the Whole consider the report of the bill on a bill for an act to amend the National Assembly Library Trust Fund Establishment Act number 11 of 2022 to provide for the additional source of fund for the management of the library to enhance the capacity, legislators, National Assembly staff, and for legal matters, and approving the explanatory memoranda and the long-term coaching of Nigeria to be charged with the responsibility of registration, discipline of its members, and to regulate, control the practice of monitoring and coaching and for legal matters and deferred consideration for further legislative action. Respected colleagues, the House and the Committee of the Whole consider the report on a bill for an act to repeal the National Fertilizer Quality Control Act number 23, 2019 and enact the National Fertilizer and Agricultural Pesticide Control Bill to provide an improved regulatory framework for the manufacture, importation, sale, distribution of fertilizer and agricultural practice in Nigeria and for legal matters. Approved clauses 1 to 50, the schedules, the explanatory memoranda, and the long title of the bill. Respected colleagues, the House and the Committee of the Whole consider the report on a bill for an act to amend the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency (ACAP) N30 Laws Federation of Nigeria 2004 to strengthen the operation of the agency and empower the agency to establish laboratories, update the list of dangerous drugs, review the penalty provisions, enhance the powers of the agency to prosecute drug-related offenses and issue subsidiary legislation and following matter and approve close the recommendations therein. Respected colleagues, the House in the Committee of the Whole consider the report of the Committee on Agriculture, Production and Services on a bill for an act to amend the Nigerian Institute of Animal Science Act Cap N160 Laws of Nigeria 2004 and related matters and following matters and approve clauses 1 to 13, explanatory memoranda and the long title of the report. The House in the Committee of the Whole consider the report of the Committee on Basic Education and Services on a bill for an act to repeal the National Examination Council Act Cap N37 Laws of Nigeria 2004 and enact the National Examination Council Bill to provide for minimum for making NECO National Common Entrance Examination, the Basic Examination Certificate, and the Senior Secondary Certificate Examination Council compulsory for every Nigerian child and provide the removal of clause without prejudice to existing powers and function of the West African Examination Council and from the Act to design the scope of the power and functions of the governing board of the Council and fully matter. Approve clauses 1 to 7, clauses 8 as amended, clauses 9 to 30, the schedule, explanatory memoranda, and the long title of the bill. Respected colleagues, lastly, the House in the Committee of the Whole consider the report on the Committee on Basic Education and Services on a bill for an act to amend the National Business and Technical Examination Board Act Cap N12 Laws of Nigeria 2004 to improve the scope of the board to undertake compulsory business and technical examination in line with the national policy on education, provide the general purpose of the results, certificate and awards issued by the board and following matters, and approve clauses 1 to 5, the explanatory memoranda and the long title of the report. Leader, move for the adoption of the report of the Committee of the Whole.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I move that this House adopt the reports of the Committee of the Whole as presented by Mr. Speaker. I so move.
Whip, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. I am Kiru Kaunye George. I represent the good people of Isukwatu Mudoji Federal Constituency. I am from Abia State. May I rise to second that the House do adopt the report as already moved by the Deputy Leader. I so second.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Move for the adjournment of the House to tomorrow, 11 a.m.
Mr. Speaker, my distinguished colleagues, Comrade Peter Ohiozoje Akpatasin, MNI, I represent the great people of Akoko Edo Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I move that this House do adjourn to Thursday, the 1st of June, the year of our Lord 2023, by 11 o'clock prompt. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
It is a leadership function. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, right honorable colleagues. I remain Honorable Vincent Ekene Ofumelo. I represent Oyi Adaya Men Federal Constituency, Mr. Speaker, from Anambra State. I rise to second the motion that the House should adjourn for tomorrow by 11 a.m. I so second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, honorable colleagues.
Respected colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. House is hereby adjourned to tomorrow, 11 a.m.